We estimate currently there were 14 people that were shot during this incident. They were transported to various hospitals to include UMC and Sunrise Hospital. Unfortunately, one of those victims has died, and 2 remain in critical condition.
Beginning with breaking news here at 6, multiple people shot at Hookah Lounge near the Las Vegas Strip. Police count 14 victims, as you just heard there. 1 has since passed away, 2 currently in critical condition. We've been tracking the latest since this morning. Our Kay Dimash has been all over this story, live at the scene near East Sahara and Maryland. So, Kay, what can you tell us at this hour?
Well, Crystal, you can see officers are still here combing through this crime scene. And this area is pretty busy, and it gets pretty busy over the weekend because there's a banquet hall over here where there's a quinceañera happening, and there was one happening last night. There's a karaoke spot, there's a pool hall, and there's this after-hour karaoke bar. So, I mean, this spot was really, really busy in this plaza last night, as far as people tell me. And so when the shooting happened, people were running from all over directions, according to the witnesses here. I'm told that people are running out the back door and they were coming out the front door, as you see now, that are wide open with the chair just out here. So it got pretty chaotic, and officers say that they need to take time to basically comb through this large area where people were running through to see if they can find any additional clues. Now, of the 14 people who were injured last night, investigators say 2 are currently in critical condition, and 1 person, described as a male, has died. Now, police say there was a party inside the Hookah Lounge here when a fight between 2 men broke out. Investigators say that there were at least 2 shooters exchanging gunfire, which then struck multiple people inside of the party. Now, police also added that no arrests have been made just yet, but they're putting in all of their resources to find the people responsible.
But we are taking it very seriously. We've activated our major case protocol, which essentially involves a variety of different investigators coming together and applying a sense of urgency to ensure that we do everything possible to catch the suspects and hold them accountable.
Now, it's still very early in the investigation, so there's a lot we don't know yet. But in addition to combing through the area for clues, investigators have been interviewing victims, and they're working to get surveillance video from businesses in the area. But as we learn more, we will definitely bring it to you on air, online, and through our News 3 app. Live in Las Vegas, Katie Munch, News 3.
All right, Kay, thank you for staying on top of that developing story. Well, Senator Catherine Cortez Masto speaking out about the shooting today. She took to Twitter to write, quote, "My thoughts are with the victims of this tragedy. I'm grateful for the law enforcement officers and first responders who responded to the scene." Then we have Senator Jackie Rosen also tweeting out today, "The reports coming from this incident are incredibly distressing. My thoughts are with those affected by this senseless act of violence. I'm grateful for our first responders who rushed in to help." Thanks for spending some time with us on this Saturday. Multiple people shot at a hookah lounge near the Las Vegas Strip. Police count 14 victims, 1 now dead, 2 currently in critical condition. And our Kay Dimash spoke to a survivor who dodged a bullet that night.
When the shooting rang out, there were hundreds of people inside Manny's Glow after dark. I'm told they all ran for their lives, some going out the back, while others came out the front, and some even ducked behind booths, waiting for the gunfire to stop.
I'm really traumatized about the whole situation. I keep on having the same flashes, like I was never left the scene, pretty much. Like I keep on picturing it.
This woman didn't want to identify herself, but felt it was important to share details of how quickly a fun night at Manny's Glow after dark turned deadly.
We was just partying, and all of a sudden, it was gunshots, and everybody started scattering everywhere, and the guns kept on being shot off.
The woman says she didn't see where the shots were coming from or who was firing, but she fell to the ground.
I didn't see it. I just heard it. Don't even know which way it was coming from at all. It was just, you just hear the pop, pop, pop noise. I was hidden behind the booth. And then after that, that's once they finally was done shooting, that's when I came out and to get around and seeing people laid out on the ground.
Police say there was a party inside the hookah lounge when a fight between 2 men broke out. Investigators say there were at least 2 shooters exchanging gunfire.
We estimate currently there were 14 people that were shot during this incident. They were transported to various hospitals to include UMC and Sunrise Hospital. Unfortunately, one of those victims has died, and 2 remain in critical condition.
This woman says one of the victims was her friend's mom. She's in critical condition after getting shot twice in the back. She says she went to middle school with the man who died.
He was a fun, cool guy, funny, just like with everybody else. He was not involved in the shooting at all.
It's still very early on in the investigation, so there is a lot that we still don't know. But in addition to combing through this scene, investigators say they're also interviewing victims and they're collecting surveillance video from businesses in this area. We will be sure to update you once we learn more on air, online, and on the News 3 app. In Las Vegas, Katie Munch, News 3.
All right, Kay, appreciate that. Senator Catherine Cortez Masto speaking out about the shooting. She took to Twitter to write, quote, "My thoughts are with the victims of this tragedy. I'm grateful for the law enforcement officers and first responders who responded to the scene." We also heard from Senator Jackie Rosen, also tweeting today, "The reports coming from this incident are incredibly distressing. My thoughts are with those affected by this senseless act of violence. I'm grateful for our first responders who rushed in to help." Thanks for being with us on this Sunday, my apologies. It's a troubling reality. Las Vegas contributes billions to sex trafficking crisis, according to an organization by the name of Refuge for Women. R.K. Dimash explains why this nonprofit believes that immediate housing would help.
Yeah, experts with the organization think immediate housing with fewer rules could make the process easier for victims of sex trafficking to escape their abuser.
That relationship almost killed me, and I was okay with it. I would have given my own life in order to be able to stay with him.
That's just a small part of Krista's story. A drug addiction forced her into becoming sex trafficked by a man she loved.
It's to the point of, I'm not going to give you any drugs until you go earn some money. So the average trafficker can make about $12,000 a week.
Don Merritt with Refuge for Women says after a person is detained for prostitution, they have limited options: jail, a homeless shelter, or return to their trafficker.
And 92% of them have no place to go, so they go back to their trafficker.
To help end that cycle, Refuge for Women is in the process of fundraising for an emergency house to get women off the streets immediately, even if they're on drugs.
The emergency house is what we're focusing on in the next year or so. We need to raise money to build it, and it will be able to house up to 14 women for different lengths of time.
The idea is to take victims from the street to a bed. Merritt says victims need a place to go so they can get away from their abusers and focus on their journey to freedom, just like Krista.
These people prey on their vulnerabilities and make them think that no one cares. No one's going to miss you if you're gone, or they threaten to harm their families.
Now, Refuge for Women also has a fundraising event planned in the future. If you'd like to support the organization, we've included more information on our website, news3lv.com. In the studio, Katie Munch, News 3.
Yeah, it'd be a worthy cause to support. Well, if you know someone who may be a victim of human trafficking, you're not alone. There is a hotline you can contact for help, and that number on your screen, 1-800-373-7888, or you can text the word HELP to 233-733.
Hi everybody, I'm Reed Cowan from News 3 Las Vegas. We want to thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. Remember, you can always see more of our videos by clicking on the video links. And also don't forget to click that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of our YouTube updates. Thanks for watching.